Welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. My name is Wright III. I'm your host. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, I do these podcasts weekdays, occasionally on the weekend, but basically in order to give you your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education to create your best life. Now, my focus has always been, and the Daily Mastermind focus has always been, personal development, financial education, and entrepreneurship. And over the last 25 years, I've had an opportunity to work with some amazing mentors, some great leaders and thought leaders and experts in all kinds of different areas. And this week is no different. I'm actually in Nashville, Tennessee this week. I haven't been out here in a while, but I'm in Nashville doing an event, a high net worth financial workshop for 3 days for about a couple hundred people. And I'm excited to share some of the thoughts and things that we have going on at this event this week. So if you haven't already, go to the Daily Mastermind page on Facebook and like and follow us, because I'll be posting a lot of content there. So just go to Facebook, look up The Daily Mastermind, and it'll get you right there. But each morning, I like to refocus on a key prosperity pillar, a key pillar that we can kind of carry throughout the week to work on. And as many of you know, over the couple of decades that I've worked with a lot of different experts and thought leaders, I put together that Prosperity Pillars poster. And it's basically 12 pillars. And maybe I'll review those real quick with you if you haven't actually seen the poster. But there are 12 prosperity pillars that really sum up everything that I've learned from these key individuals over the last many years. It's not totally comprehensive, but it's 12 of the biggest thoughts that I've been able to apply in my life. So I created a poster out of it. And let me read them for you real quick. I actually have one here in my office, and I have one on my desktop. Let's see. It's I create my life. I take personal responsibility. I act in spite of my mood. I surround myself with positive people. I focus on solutions. I create an attitude of abundance. I choose to be happy. I always think win-win. I am committed to lifelong learning. I create daily rituals. I attract success. And I visualize and manifest my life. Those are the 12 prosperity pillars, and I did that for a couple of reasons. I personally enjoyed having an affirmation that I could read every day, and also a reminder of the things that I want to be focused on in my life. And so I hope it's something that will help you. Today and this week, we're going to focus on prosperity pillar number 8, which is I always think win-win. But before I do that, actually, I want to draw the attention real quick to the quote of the day on the Daily Mastermind mobile app, because I think it's really appropriate. And I'm gonna give you the quote of the day from yesterday, which applies to what we're going to be talking about, and that'll give you the opportunity to still go in and look at the quote for today. But the quote yesterday was from my friend, partner, mentor, Robert Stuberg. And the quote is, all progress begins with asking a better question. All progress begins with asking a better question. And as we've talked about a lot on this podcast, and I talk about a lot in daily life, our thoughts really do create our life. And so if you want to be able to focus your thoughts, create new thoughts, and create the right direction, you've got to ask better questions. And asking better questions will definitely direct your thoughts in the right way. So that's a great quote. It's a great quote for what we're going to talk about today, which is, I always think win-win. And so what does that actually mean? Most people think it's about sales and marketing and negotiating, creating a win-win. And maybe it is a little bit to a certain degree. But what I'm really talking about, and what I'd like you to be thinking about in your thoughts today, is I'm talking about how you think. Because you notice it says, I always think win-win. And the reason I go back to this, not just because I want you to be able to be conscious of your thoughts, but listen, I know that sometimes we're in situations that don't seem to have a solution. They don't seem to have a way out. Maybe your job is overwhelming, maybe you're struggling in a relationship, or maybe you're feeling anxiety, stress about situations that you're dealing with. There's all kinds of, things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes it's hard to come up with solutions. And it's even harder to come up with solutions when you're feeling overwhelmed. But here's the key. The key is what this principle is all about. And that is, you have to learn to start from abundance thinking rather than scarcity. You have to start from solution, because see, many of us are so focused on the problem that it's really hard to see anywhere else. But if you can learn to condition yourself to always start from a place of abundance, then rather than starting by identifying the problem and being focused on that, you immediately shift to focusing on solutions. And that's abundance thinking, because when you're focused on the problem, it's really hard to create win-wins. It's hard to create solutions. But when you start from a place of abundance, you put the problem aside and you start from solution. And the only way to create a win-win or to solve a problem is really to be looking at the solutions. And this means you've got to shift your perspective, right? And, secondly, what it means is that you have to believe and have faith that you can create the solutions. Now, I get it. Our beliefs are determined and created by our experiences. And if you don't have the experience to help with your belief, you can have faith. Faith that you're going to be able to find a solution, because there's always a solution. There's always, positives. There's always a way to be able to have both, right? Happiness and money, or, a great relationship and a great, profession or career. Successful people think both. Unsuccessful, scarcity-based thinking is always either or. I win, they lose. I get this, I lose that. But whatever it is, you've got to learn to come from a place of abundance. You've got to shift to that as quickly as you can. And there's lots of ways you can do that, by keeping your thoughts positive, by your affirmations, your daily rituals. But you have to be able to come from a place of abundance if you want to create win-wins in your life, if you want to be able to create solutions and have, both. It's Wayne Dyer that had a really good quote that I like to say quite often. And he said, he said, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. How often have we had that happen? I mean, let's be honest. Two people can be looking at the exact same situation and see it from totally different angles. So sometimes if you can put yourself in another position with a different perspective, it's amazing what kind of solutions and things you can come up with. So I really love that quote by Wayne Dyer. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's really the message I want you to have this week, because if you always think win-win, what you're really doing is you're saying to yourself, I'm always going to try to come from a place of abundance. I'm going to try to come from a place of faith. I'm going to try to change my perspective in a way that creates positive so that I can come up with the solutions that I need. And I encourage you this week to do that. I encourage you to maybe take a situation you're dealing with right now, maybe take maybe a challenge that you have, and try to change your perspective and look at it as an opportunity. Maybe it's an opportunity to grow. Maybe it's an opportunity to create a new, direction in your life. Sometimes it's not about fixing where we're at. It's about embracing the direction that we need to go. And so I would like you to look at what you've got going on this week. Think of this prosperity pillar throughout the week often. Try to get your shift in your thinking happening. And I think that you'll see some great things happen in your life. I like to say that it's never too late to start living the life that you were meant to live. And I truly believe that. So if you can today, and if you can through this week, try to find some solutions and come to a different perspective of abundance in your life. I'm really excited about talking to you this week because I've got some amazing thought leaders at this event that I've got, from financial, estate planning, tax reduction, real estate, stock investing. Great thought leaders, great seven-figure mentors. I'll try to capture as much of it as I can. So definitely catch me on our Facebook page at the Daily Mastermind, or download the mobile app, because I'll post a lot of stuff in that as well. It's free. All the content I have is free. I don't charge for any of it. So I hope it helps you. I hope those are some thoughts that inspire and motivate you throughout the week. I'd love to hear from you as well. So hit me up on that Facebook page or on the Instagram page, the Daily Mastermind, and give me some feedback. What are you struggling with? What can I help you with? But this week, let's go ahead and keep that in mind. I'll always think win-win. And I look forward to talking with you more. Have an amazing day.